Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. It's been a few days since I've put a video out, but I've had 2 boxes of peaches to take care of with my daughter, and she helped me so much. We finally got everything done up and made lots of peach jam and peach salsa, and we canned peaches. So I thought I'd do a quick video. My poor garden's looking more and more bedraggled. Of course, I'm spending less and less time in it because I'm trying to put the vegetables and fruits up that have been growing here. And I've got a really cute little grandson's birthday today, and that, of course, takes my time. So I'm sure you understand. So we're just going to go with it. I think I'll probably only get out to the main garden today for this video. First of all, my question is, how does your garden grow? Are things still growing? I know in different zones there's going to be a lot of different results. Last night it was 39 here. The night before it was 38. Just 6 little points before freezing. My brother's garden up in the mountains where I grew up, it's already experienced a freeze of 27 degrees. What he does is he pulls up his tomato plants and he hangs them in his shop and lets the tomatoes ripen up from there. And then he'll just pick them and bottle them as he needs to, as he gets time and as they get ripe. So that's kind of a great way to do it. I'm going to have to do that very soon. Just take what I can of the ones that I can pull up or the ones that are in containers and put them in where it's not going to freeze. I just thought I'd show you that I quickly put some Earliana cabbage starts in this pot here. I was just curious whether I could get them to grow and coax them along in my greenhouse during the winter, or at least the early fall. So we'll see how that works. Trying to grow a 42-day tomato in here, and I have a celery that needs to be potted up very badly. Time, I need more time, and I don't mean the herb. Here's a cherry-licious tomato that's growing in here, and a sweet 100. The sweet 100 plant looks terrible, but look what it grew. So I really want to try to see if I can get some things to grow in here for at least a while. I had to go back in and get a coat. It was so chilly. And I forgot to bring anything to pick into because my mind is on a certain grandchild whose birthday I'm going to celebrate today. But we're going to get through this. So how does your garden grow? I cannot even stand the thought of having all these beautiful vines frozen and dead and dying and having to pull everything down. It's okay. It's the circle of life. It's the way things are supposed to go. But man, I'm going to miss my garden terribly. And even if I can grow some things in my little greenhouse, it's not the same. I'm just standing here soaking up the beautiful sun, enjoying every second of it. But that's enough of that because I have a place to go. So let's get these cucumbers picked and put in the box and get them in the house. And then my sweet daughter, who helps me so much, helps me get them down to the farm stand so we can sell the excess. And it helps out on the budget just a little bit so that we can buy chicken feed and different things like that. Here's a beautiful one, and these are the pokey ones. Look at those little, so pokey. Here's another one. I'm going to really miss the fresh tomatoes, fresh cucumbers, fresh beans that I usually have, at least some of them, every night for dinner. I'm going to really miss that. So what have you got hiding in here? We have some beans. Look at these beautiful vines. So pretty. No cucumbers hiding. Come on, guys, you only have a few more days. You better get with it. It's not like we haven't had tons and tons and tons of cucumbers. I saw one hiding up here. And it's another pokey one. Owie. Let's see how to get it down without breaking it or me. Look at that. What a gorgeous thing. I hear sirens in the distance. What I was starting to talk about before was my heart going out to the people that have been affected by the Hurricane Helene. The incredible devastation, especially in East Tennessee and West North Carolina. I've been following it very closely. I listen to a couple of YouTubers that both live near there, and they are organizing a bunch of food drives, and they're putting things together. They're actually there on the ground helping to take food and water to different distribution places. And while a certain entity told people not to even go in the area or to help until things were assessed for safety, luckily these type of people are taking the initiative, and they're going there themselves and helping to hand out food and water and supplies to people that are in desperate need. And I understand that the lines for food and water are incredibly long, and of course gas, if anybody can get it. And that as soon as they get the food and water in, people are there to get it. So one channel I watch, Pinball Preparedness, you might want to look for on YouTube, and the other one, Appalachia's Homestead with Patera. I know that they are right there on the ground helping to serve these people and getting them food and water and the basic needs of life. So I really appreciate citizens who love their country and their people enough to get out there and actually do something, especially the people that live in the area. They're helping to rescue people, feed them, clothe them, give them food and water. The people that do have their houses standing still, they just, a lot of them either didn't prepare. That's why we prepare. That's why we put food away. Or they've already gone through their food, or they've just lost their house. So if you can find these channels, they have given you a way to donate to it that is safe and is going straight to the people and not through some other, what shall we call it, administrator's pocket. So I highly recommend you look up Pinball Preparedness and Appalachia's Homestead with Patera. I've been listening to these people for years, and they're straight shooters, they're good people, and they are helping. I'm too far away to help. I can send some money, and I can also spread the word about their efforts and what they're doing. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm encouraging you to find their channels and to go and donate any little bit of money that you can. And just be aware of the situation, because if you look at the news, our lovely mainstream media, they might have paid a token amount of attention to them, and then it was done and over, and then we're on to the other hot topics. And meanwhile, these people's lives are in shambles, and they're fighting for their lives in many ways. There's a big rescue effort still going on. At least 1,000 people unaccounted for. And I wanted to mention Miss Gale at Georgia Peach Nut. She has a YouTube channel I listen to, and she was heavily affected by the storm. If you just look, if you just take time to look around social media. You know, there's no excuse anymore. We're all very connected globally. But there are a lot of people out there that are hurting and need some help just for the basic survival right now. So I will get off my soapbox, but I will encourage you one more time to go on YouTube and take a look at the devastation, and then go to Pinball Preparedness or Appalachia's Homestead with Patera, and I will put these on the screen. And they give you a place to go and donate, and where they are going to go and buy this. They are buying this stuff right now and taking it directly down to people in need at different drop-off points where people know that they can come and get food, water, cleaning supplies, clothes, and basic things to keep them going. So that's my pitch for today. Still doing a little picking of the chocolate sprinkles. They're so beautiful. There's so many left. Our season, it takes forever to get going. Forever. And then it just spreads out into September, and then you're biting your nails to see what things are going to actually ripen before the frost. So that's why I don't even worry about planting a fall garden. This is my fall garden. It's still just trying to get going and get things growing. So I've been putting out a reel or a short here and there about sustainability and the importance of growing it and stowing it and putting it away. And I really hope that people will listen and actually do something about it. I'm a very small channel. But if I can get to anybody to have them be more conscious of what's in their pantry, what's in their house, how long would you be able to survive with what you have in your house right now? For at least a week. Just go for a week. That includes water. That includes light. Say you were out of power. We have a well, but we can't run the well unless we use a generator, which we have. Have we put it into practice and used it? No, not yet. If you listen to these channels, Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm, she has gone right through the hurricane. She's in South Carolina, and she's being very, very conscious of what holes she has in her preparation. Things are very, very clear to people once they get into this situation of what you really need in an emergency. A way to wash your clothes by hand, lights that are from battery-operated sources. Definitely got to have food and water. Do you have a way to hook your well to a generator so you can draw the water out? I know that Patera at Appalachia's Homestead with Patera, she and her husband put in a hand pump to their well, along with the electric pump that will bring up water. That to me is very smart. I know Pinball Preparedness, he has a lot of solar generators and things like that. And even if you have a solar small generator pack that will help you charge your phones or your radios or whatever you need, or your lights, even if it doesn't charge your freezers and refrigerator, and that's another huge problem. You might want to think of that. So you could use your gas run generator, which you have to store a lot of fuel for, but you could use it to pull up some water so you could have for drinking and washing. You could then use it for running your freezers and fridges for a little while each day to keep them cold. There's a lot of details, and I think situations like this really help us think about it, work out the bugs, and put it into practice. So that's what this video is going to be dedicated to. Really encouraging you to not only grow it and stow it, but to have a plan. What would you do? Where would you meet? We have 4 kids in this area. We're within half an hour of all of them. Where would we meet? What if some bridges washed out? Because there are definitely bridges that washed out in East Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, other places. So if you make a plan to meet, could you necessarily go through with those plans? Because if the bridge washed out, what is your plan B? Look at these beautiful peppers I'm finding. I think if nothing else, it's giving me a lot of food for thought. And again, I really feel like most people are just going about their day, not even thinking about these people, not even thinking about the hurricane, not even thinking about what situation a huge portion of the population is in. Because this cut a huge swath from the southern up to the more northern states and did an incredible amount of damage. It can happen, and it does happen. So I personally want to focus on getting back to the preparation and self-sustainability videos that I started making. But I've got to finish the garden. Seriously, I have a week, maybe 2 at the outside, to get all these beautiful things as mature as they can be, and then to get them put away. Frozen, dehydrated, canned. Those are about the 3 ways that I can put things away. Freezing, canning, dehydrating. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish quickly picking some more things here, and then I'm going to go make a little boy's birthday as happy as I can be. And yes, you do have to live in amongst all this craziness, but you have to realize that the people in East Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, and other areas affected, their scope of their world has been narrowed significantly, and right now they're worrying about food, water, shelter, and their safety. So again, if you can contribute at all, or at least be aware of what's going on in East Tennessee, West North Carolina, Georgia, lots of other areas, and if I've neglected to mention those, I apologize. But go to Pinball Preparedness and Appalachia's Homestead with Patera and see if you can contribute some money, because they are physically going to pick those things up at the stores, and that's another thing. A lot of the stores have empty shelves already in the areas there, and then people are working out farther and farther to try to find supplies. So even if that area is not affected by the hurricane directly, it's easily going to be affected by people coming to find food, gasoline, and what have you. And then let's throw on that the dock workers strike. Yeah, you might want to rethink things and where you're putting your money and how you're living your life, and just start making things more secure. That doesn't mean you can't keep living and doing fun things. You just have to think about it, plan for it, put the money aside, but make sure you're getting some security things, some self-sustainability in place before maybe you do go on these trips and go have a good time. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a good time. I'm just saying you should think ahead and prepare and plan. So you have a lovely day. I think I'm going to go in the house now and get going. I've picked a few things that we could put in the farm stand. I just wanted to focus this video more on showing why we need self-sustainability. And it may be coming to an area near you, and we don't know how, why, when. But it's just a good idea. You have a great day, all of you. And think about what you're going to do for your family's safety and self-sustainability. You cannot plan for everything, for every contingency. I know that. But you can cover most of them. Now you take care, and we'll see you next time.